Good morning, everybody, or afternoon at this point. Yes, thank you. Welcome to today's live stream. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We're getting quite a bit of bullish price action, which I'm very happy about. An upward move for the market is very good. Alts are taking quite the beating as a result, though. So, my USD value is pretty much unchanged, actually. Let's talk about Bitcoin first and then talk about all these alts that are just absolutely getting slaughtered today. Okay? So first thing to note is we did have the positive wave PM cross on the 4-hour chart. And my indicator timed out, so I'm just going to do a quick reload there. Beautiful. Very nice. So, we had the initial wave PM cross, which you can see here, right? With the significant trend line to the downside here, positive weighting on the CCI, with comprehensive net expansion to the upside, and very little volatility overhead as defined by 3D wave PM. Looking at about the 120 period, but as defined by ACAT, we should, in theory, find resistance around 10,600. There is a confluence of resistance with the 3.2 standard deviations at that location. So I would be careful in that range, as it will technically be defined as an extreme value. Now, what's important to note is that if you have an extreme value in a place of relative compression, it doesn't necessarily result in reversal. More often than not, it just results in short-term compression before trend continuation. Okay, so like when you tag an extreme value during a period of macro-level trend, like here, it doesn't immediately just crash. It compresses to allow the restoration of potential energy on those shorter term time frames before trend continuation happens, right? So we can actually analyze that same thing. Volume is super low, which is good. Low volume bottom, volume divergence is super important. So if you get downward trend and reducing volume, it implies, well, reversal of trend, right? And we actually have bullish confirmation on the shorter time frames, like the 1-hour chart, which we can identify now. Beautiful. Yeah, because that wave PM cross was just so clean, and we're actually getting the second wave of that expansion happening now, which is really pretty on this wave PM. When every value registers below the 0.7 on the wave PM, whenever you have that following period of comprehensive net expansion to the upside like we're seeing here, that results in very significant trend, and I'm happy about this. Now, what you can actually see is the restoration of that potential energy in the shorter term time frames by seeing these slope back down briefly, and then a secondary period of expansion, which you can see here as of maybe 1 or 2 candles ago, which actually resulted in that trend continuation for the secondary cross. Right, since we had tagging of the extreme range in the top end here. However, once you actually start getting that expansion, which we see here and here, it results in a significant upward move. I am in a leveraged long right now on Bitcoin, and I'm very happy about it. So, when we got that short-term secondary compressionary period, it allowed the restoration of the even shorter time frame periods, which we can actually look at if you want. It's going to be pretty cool, right? It's all these periods restoring back to a state of potential energy before the resumption of upward trend and positive volume. What we have here is a first lower volume spike in price, followed by a compressionary period, followed by a secondary higher volume spike with a higher high. It's bullish, right? It implies the beginning of upward trend. And even here on the 15-minute chart, if we look closely, we were tagging that extreme value previously, as in here, which did lead to range trading, which is nice. Values were very well respected, and actually the bounce on the longest overexpanded period is just so clean, it's not even funny. Right, because as long as we are above this purple band, Bitcoin is defined as a state of trend. As far as a confluent long position, this would have been it, where we have both 3.2 standard deviations and a tag of the longest overexpanded period on the downside. Goodness gracious, it was so clean. I'm very happy I'm long right now. And as a result, we ran up. This would have been your first take profit target, but we've blasted straight through it, and you can actually see the compression range ending and a new plume of mass generation based on the 43 period, but that's going to rapidly expand. We are just coasting up on this outer standard deviation with comprehensive net expansion to the upside on both the 15-minute and the 1-hour charts. It is super clean. It is super bullish. I think we're actually going to see significant higher highs from here on out. And we have a super obvious trend line that we should probably draw. Just for the sake of sanity. Beautiful. Ah, goodness. It's almost as if these values are well respected or something. Nice. So we had the positive break. I don't really care about drawing it accurately because I'm not using it to actually define trend. I'm using it to point out liquidity and how it might enter the market due to obvious signals. So that's good. I like it. Wow, I got through that pretty fast. Yeah, the liquidation wick on the downside was super convincing as well. I'll point it out to you. Actually, just this entire compression range played out so nicely. Right? Generally works like this. You stay in the green band, or the first green band, like so. And you can range trade that really well. If you want to use this indicator, please click through the doodly-doo in the description. It does link to our website where you can gain access to these indicators, right? And goodness gracious, I should range trade more often. And if it does break, like it did here, where you actually get a green candle on the upside, it typically finds resistance on these bands. And what's really nice about this indicator for the CLCP is when you actually get these jagged edges, it more accurately represents support and resistance levels quite clearly. Because it's a normalized outer standard deviation. What that means is you see these rapid compressions happening, and it allows you to define a range of support and a range of resistance instead of just a static line. So you can actually use things like shorter time frame CCI rolls on the actual boundary that we've drawn. So like, watch this. Let's actually define this range here, and we can go to the 5-minute chart, and we can actually use this as an entry signal, like here, which would have been 14 period CCI crossing below the 200 value. Not the 200 value, excuse me, the 200 period, which would have happened right there. And actually determining the fraction time frame to do that on is pretty simple. Of course, you can also just use extreme values on lower time frames as well, such as the fact that we're tagging the 3.2 of the longest overexpanded period for this relative move, which is super clean. Right? Because that's also our resistance line. So our secondary tag and failed wick there would have been a bearish sign. Right? Because you have significant wick to the upside with a red candle close directly after. Super clean. Of course, as soon as we actually get the candle close inside the longest overexpanded period, it does result into an immediate one candle mean inversion with a single wick. And it just immediately completes the condition, which is really clean. As far as we're actually going now, we're actually outside the 3.2 standard deviation of our longest overexpanded period. And that's fine, because it implies significant trend. Just important note that when you get every value above 0.9 like that, it does typically stall trend. So I wouldn't expect significant higher highs today. Probably just lateral compression or brief mean reversion before trend continuation. Of course, I don't like betting against trend. Do not short this. This is an upward move. Rather, just be conscientious and try to buy the dip into this apparent uptrend. Okay. Of course, if we activate the mean inversion condition, which will develop over the next 24 hours, you can in turn attempt to short that, but it's too soon while you have to find upward trend. Okay. That's it for today on Bitcoin. I hope this was an interesting lesson. Do subscribe to this video. I release these updates every day. It has been a pleasure. I'll see you later. Ciao. Nice. Let's pop out the comments. Welcome to today's live stream. Shush! I know what you're about. I've already heard that before. Alright, well, defaulting to Litecoin here. I like Litecoin. It's in an upward trend. Yeah, get your altcoin questions in, guys, so I can take a look at these charts. Trend is defined on Litecoin. You are welcome to take along on any kind of quad CCI rollup. It's very clean. As far as coins on my watch list, everything is red today. Everything. Ooh, Blaze oofed really hard, didn't it? Actually, I just realized why there's so much delay on this guitar. I'm gonna pop that to... There we go. Please don't crash my computer. Oh, okay. That was a mistake. There we go. Very nice. Blaze is an active bearish mean inversion, so we just gotta buckle up and wait for that to finish. Check the YouTube comments. Hi, hit that like button. Litecoin, Bitcoin. Let's check it out. LTC, BTC. Wait for that chart to load. Litecoin, Bitcoin. Yeah, we have a break of the range and a new upward expansion. It's really clean. Man, I got a range trade this more. It defines extreme values ridiculously well. And then, of course, as soon as these bands break like so and you see a new upward expansion, it results in trend. Yeah, this is a very bullish chart, actually, for the time being. I know the halving's coming up, and it typically results in a bearish move. But a little bit of patience. You are welcome to take along now, like the second, or at least at 0.009714. So that's going to be a 0.3% dip down. You can take that long and try for a 3% upside or higher. Might work out for you. Let's check out what coins you want me to look at. Hey. Dude, look at the oil trade chart. You gave me the best trade of my life. Ah! I don't remember the ticker for it. I'm just going to type in oil. It's like, what's the name of the future again? Crude oil futures. CL1. Right here. Actually, we just count back 24 hours. Yep. Right there, this candle. We called the short position. We said if we entered this purple band, we would see a bearish move. We did, and actually, I would take profit like here, like right now. You're tagging the 3.2 standard deviation of the longest over expanded period. Or at least at a, you'll probably see a quick bounce back and compression before trend continuation. That's what I would say. But I'm really happy that worked out for you. It's a really clean trade. I'm happy you took it. You know, I had the huge caveat the day before. Like, hey, I don't typically trade this asset class, but this indicator is, man, it's something else. Also, time to trade the 1 second chart. Show me what you got. I want to see what this looks like on the 1 second chart, because why not? We have the power. Just waiting for ACAT to load. CDT, I'd be happy to bat as well. Am I an Iron Maiden fan? I am not. I'm an Ice Brusher fan. Oh, I'm going to type that in chat. It's a great band. Yeah, does ACAT work down here? Plot twist, it does. Here on the 1 second chart, we can accurately use ACAT to define trend and mean inversions. Ha! Imagine that. Right, because as long as we're above this band here, if we go inside, we revert to the mean, and if we have the green range formed, we compress, go sideways. And are these percentage differences enough to trade? Yeah, 0.1% changes in 14 seconds. You can make money on that. Of course, you're going to overtrade yourself, but hey, man, doesn't mean you can't do it. Like, let's just go back and point out some of this. 3 wave PM is timed out for the moment, but... And it's not like we have to go hunting for examples. We can just, you know, wait for them to... And ACAT takes a second to develop on this chart, which is okay. I'm actually going to do the 5 second. Just for fun. Okay, what am I doing? I need to look at that. Sorry, I got distracted. You know, you're getting a lot of downward expansion right now. Honestly, it really does. Actually, there's a huge fake out on bat. I'll be honest. This looks super bullish. It was a good trade. You know, just typically when you get the 4-hour wave PM cross from a place of total compression, it results in a larger trend than this did. Like an 18% move is fine. I cannot define support on this at this current moment. Check out CMT. It was CDT, my bad. This chart is downward expansion as well, so. Ooh. Not ideal. You know, those candle closes are all over the place. It's really going to be hard to try to define range, or at least even an extreme value. Like, at least the overexpansion is clean, so it should load up okay, but I am wary. No, man. You're just in the active mean version, and it's completed, and now you're in the range. So, sure, you can try to buy at 140, 139. That will work, in theory. You just have to stop a little bit below it. And then you could just try to scalp from here to there for 8%. But it's risky. OSTK. Quad CCI. That's it. That's all you got to do. So here you got positive weighting. Take the 14 period CCI roll up for a long into trend. That's it. Glad I could help. I mean, there's fundamentals, and you're right before the earnings report, so I'd be careful. But, you know, if you got a trend, bet on trend continuation. Simple as that. Also, I feel sorry for the Trumps trading this range. It's like, oh, a bullish break. Nope, sorry. Yeah, bullish mean inversion looks good. Trend is defined. All right, let's check the final comments, and I'll be on my way for the day. Looks like that's it. Cool. It's been a pleasure. Hit that like button. I'll talk to you all folks tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.